Okay, this is a game that people have been talking about for quite some time now. I believe it was first announced back in the summer of 2021 during the E3 event. And to this day, I mean, the game still has no official release date. And I guess a lot of people were under the impression that it was going to come out back in 2022, but it didn't. But apparently, we're going to be getting a new Metal Slug game that's supposed to be coming out sometime this year, but that's something that has not been confirmed as of yet. It's supposed to be released for the Nintendo Switch and Microsoft Windows. It'll be playable on Steam, and I'm not exactly sure what the price for this game is going to be. But one of the more interesting things about this upcoming game is the fact that it's not going to be published by SNK, who's like the regular publisher for the Metal Slug games. It's going to be published by Dotemu, the same publisher that published Streets of Rage 4 from 2020, and that game was a massive success. And I'm looking at the artwork and the gameplay in Metal Slug Tactics, and the artwork and graphics look similar to that of the older Metal Slug games, which is something a lot of people are going to like. The gameplay is very interesting because the game is played from a isometric perspective, and you get the same type of feel that you would get if you played Final Fantasy Tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics from 1997 was considered a classic, and the graphics in this game, in my opinion, is something that's definitely going to stand out, especially for those who are fans of the older games, because you look at the entire Metal Slug series, the visuals have pretty much remained the same but different, and the quality had improved over time. And honestly, like, the fact that we're getting a new Metal Slug game in the future is something that's very surprising, considering the fact that the last Metal Slug game that we got, the last main entry, I believe, came out back in the late 2000s, sometime between 2008 and 2009. I believe it was Metal Slug 7. But for the most part, like, the Metal Slug series has always been cool. But the thing is, the run and gun genre has just been dead because more people like prefer 3D shooting games, whether it be a first-person shooter or a third-person shooter in like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Fortnite, all that stuff. People prefer those type of shooting games opposed to 2D side-scrolling run-and-gun games, which used to be very popular back in the 90s, but times change and, technology evolves and all that stuff, and you gotta get with the times. But I do feel that Metal Slug Tactics will definitely, appeal to a niche audience. I don't see it breaking over 1 million in relation to sales, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a game that gets positive reviews from critics and from video game publishers because of its creativity, and it's something new that we have not seen in the Metal Slug series like in the past. And I do hope that this is not the last Metal Slug game that we're going to get, and hopefully the game doesn't get pushed back to 2024. It's supposed to be released sometime this year. We just don't know when, and a lot of people are still waiting for Metal Slug 8 because Metal Slug 7 came out a long time ago, and honestly, I don't think the series is basically like dead or anything like that. I do feel that the series could still appeal to, I guess, casuals, just not to the same extent as it did back in like the mid to late 90s or the early 2000s.